In a future where somebody clearly said, "Lights out, world!" because all the lights did go out, and suddenly these monsters came out of nowhere, and hence the world of Darklight. So, it seems to be a story about a world that falls into decay, and there's some monsters that they're kind of like dark void darkness creatures. Can't think of. They're kind of like what if the aliens, like crawling aliens, took over the universe and like create the nuclear men stationed on the surface went crazy. That gives you a rough idea of what it's like being on the surface here. So they take over the Earth's surface, and then the world is devastated and split into two halves. The upper surface, where it's super dangerous, and almost no one goes up there unless they are like dangerous themselves. And then these dangerous monsters are there too. And then there's the underground, where people, the humans, try and survive with very limited resources, and they're getting swarmed over and breached. So they have to do something. Now, you're this dark hunter, so you have to survive your way against these dark creatures and explore this apocalyptic world. It kind of plays like Prince of Persia meets like Blackthorn, a sci-fi where you're collecting orbs and you're trying to upgrade your weapons. Some people said Dark Souls, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it was super Dark Souls. Or like a 2D Stalker or Metro. There's a strong apocalyptic mood. And like you have a drone, which helps you see invisible monsters and show you like how to get through this really dark world. And the game has a very unique and lush backgrounds. Like it's very pretty. I wouldn't say it's gritty. It's sort of like gritty meets like neon backgrounds. I can't think of anything else that it's quite like, but it's kind of like Super Metroid meets like a gritty, really gritty and dark Star Wars, I guess, without like the futuristic lasers so much. And you also have a map that you can follow, kind of like Super Metroid. But the map disappears after each playthrough, so you have to really remember, okay, this is where everything is in this world, because as soon as I leave this session, it's gone. And like, there are a wide range of melee, throwable, and upgradable weapons. You can collect all these gems, they do different things, and then you cash in at certain places. So it's like just different shops, like glorified shops, all these things. Now, the cons of this is the combat's really rough, considering like how backgrounds in the game are so polished, and like the way the game's set up is very very cool, but the story doesn't get elaborated on, unfortunately. Like, you're interested in the story, it's like, okay, everything got run over, you know, everything's gone to the dogs, and then from there it's like you don't learn anything more. Now, this game is in early access, so it's kind of understandable, it's not finished. There's only two worlds right now, the upper portion, the lower portion, and then I heard a secret world. But everything sort of blurs together is the problem with this game right now, as it is. Like, other than the combat, where the physics of the actual rolling, jumping, and like jumping up and down and crawling, it's not super smooth yet. Maybe it will get better in the future. And the problem is, your gun's range is much shorter. Like, maybe like this on the screen, and like enemies can shoot from like half across the screen, so it's pretty unfair. They're not super powerful, but like if you have one or two attacking you at once, you can die super quickly at the start of the game. So I thought, okay, it's almost like you have to avoid the enemies, but sometimes you can't avoid the enemies, so you're kind of in a bind there. But yeah, it seems like you're grinding for resources more than trying to understand the lore and the backstory of the game. And that's what brought me in originally. The lore and the backstory of this game is very interesting. It's got a lot of potential, but then you don't really learn anything more. So then you're fighting these terrible game mechanics of like rolling and jumping and like trying to melee attack enemies, and like your pistol, and you have only so much energy to do all this, so you can only attack certain times before you have to wait for that bar to go back up. So the other problem is like the level design's rough. Like it's hard to know where I'm going, so you don't really feel that progression. And at the same time, I felt like I wasn't making meaningful progress in this game. And for me, like I'll quickly stop playing a game if I feel like there's not enough like rewards to encourage you to keep playing a game. So also, the foreground also blends into the background a lot. So you don't know, okay, is this container shootable? Can I like actually hit this guy? Oh no, he's just part of the background animation. So yeah, you can't tell if it's can be interacted with or not. Ultimately, the game's appearance and the moody vision of the future, that's what brings people into this game. I feel like once you realize the game doesn't have polished mechanics to it right now, it's sort of hard to continue playing it. And I felt like I died like a few times, and I just thought, okay, I'm done, because like I don't even know what the goal of this game is anymore, other than to collect random gems and take out a few enemies here and there, unfortunately. But yeah, it just feels aimless to play, and it's still in early access, so there's a chance it could get totally overhauled and we get a more comprehensive story. But like right now, it just feels like you're running around and aimlessly. So the game does need a lot of work. The graphics are great, so it's solid there. The story setup, initial setup is good, but still needs more refinement. And so focus on that. And then rewarding the player for goal progression, because right now I feel like there's not a solid goal other than, survive. And to me, that's not enough to just upgrade your gear. It's like, what am I upgrading my gear for? Like, to fight a boss? Yeah, there's bosses in this, but it feels like, okay, there's got to be more than just to fight random bosses and then upgrade your gear more. There's got to be a purpose to this game, and I feel like it doesn't have it right now. So I would give it a generous 7 out of 10 right now, but I feel like people that aren't fans of the genre, I think it would be more like a 6 out of 10, because it just feels aimless and it needs more work, and it's just passable as a sort of like a little bit beyond a demo, but not quite a game, unfortunately. So with that, don't forget to turn off the lights, unless you don't have any. Keep on gaming. Bye.